New York Mets baseball is brought to you by the dynamic Lexus IS, thrilling by design. See your Lexus dealer. Here's your Diamondbacks lineup brought to you by Fios. Visit getfios.com. Paul Goldschmidt in a terrible funk. Golden sombrero last night. Leads the National League in striking out. Chris Owings gets the start against the left-hander. Steven Souza restrained his pec muscle making a throw last night, so he's on the bench. Devin Marrero gets the start at third base with Daniel Descalzo sitting. John Ryan Murphy behind the plate against the lefty as well.
And there's Steve from Long Island. 1-3 on the year, looking to get his second win. Last two starts after coming off the DL have been promising. Hasn't gone deep in games, but pitched himself out of a lot of trouble in Philadelphia. And they need this young man to carry the load a little bit. And your New York Lottery Metropolitan defense. Jose Reyes at third base. Jose I always felt was a better right-hand hitter, Gare. He's at third base. Wilmer at first, of course. And that outfield, folks, with the left-hander out there with the injuries, this is going to be it. I think it's going to be good for both Nimmo and Conforto to be playing every day, even against the left-handers. You know you're going to be in there the next day. You tend to relax. Don't have to worry about an 0 for 4. I may not play tomorrow.
Mickey Callaway had the option to throw Phillip Evans out in the outfield as he did last week, opting not to do that tonight. David Peralta leads off. Matz's first pitch is in for a strike, and we're underway. Peralta 0 for 4 last night.
Also
hitting at .272 for the year.
2 strikeouts.
And he rolls one slowly down to Reyes. The throw on the move for the first out of the night.
Well, Jose has always got a little skip to him, doesn't he? He's always on his toes.
So Peralta retired. Now Nick Ahmed starting at shortstop tonight. Like everybody in this Diamondbacks lineup, he is struggling, hitting just .212. University of Connecticut product. Diamondbacks are last in the National League in team batting average, last in the league in on-base percentage, third from the bottom in slugging percentage. It's a team that plays in a great hitter's ballpark, but they haven't hit a lick, and their pitching's been the best in the league, so go figure. But they're sitting atop the National League West despite losing 8 of their last 9 games. And fastball fouled back, and it's 0-2 to Ahmed.
They're also, Gary, 12-5 against left-handers. And there's your numbers there. And this is a team that plays in a ballpark where the ball carries. They've always been an offensive team, and boy, it's just not happening this year.
Well, their best hitter Goldschmidt is in the deepest funk of his career. Their next best hitter Jake Lamb just got back from 6 weeks on the disabled list last night.
Whoa!
And he's sitting tonight against the lefty.
Didn't Arizona get a humidor again for this year, the same as in Colorado? I wonder if that's had an effect.
Well, it's not affecting them on the road. Curveball from Matz. That shot over the bag. A base hit for Ahmed. Hits off the sidewall, and he'll go to second base with a 1-out double. So Ahmed poking the curveball right over the bag, and he's got a 2-base hit. And the Diamondbacks have a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Breaking ball just kind of floated up there on the outer half of the plate. And look at the ball boy gets out of the way. Well done.
So Matz, who gave up a first inning run on a home run in each of his last 2 starts, now has to deal with a 1-out double. Chris Owings hitting third in the order, didn't start last night, came in late when Souza got hurt. Owings off to a slow start after a nice year last year. He's become a very valuable jack of all trades for the Diamondbacks. He can play 6 different positions. Last year he got hurt at the end of July, broke a finger, missed the last 2 months, but had 12 home runs, 51 RBIs in only 97 games. Former Arizona first-round draft pick. Owings hitting just 156 with runners in scoring position. That's a team-wide problem for Arizona. As a team, just 221 in RBI situations. And Matz moves him back, a ball and a strike.
Well, the big thing has been how bad Goldschmidt has gone for clearly almost a month. And he looked really out of sorts last night. The worst I've ever seen him at the plate.
Fouls off the changeup, and it's 1-2. Jerry Lane, the crew chief, is the home plate umpire. You got to wait for his strike calls. Takes a little while. Greg Gibson, Jordan Baker, Vic Carapazzo rounding out the crew. Matz has been making it a point of taking a little more time between pitches, especially when he's got runners on base. Trying to make sure that he doesn't quicken his pace and get out of sorts, and it's worked for him the last couple of starts. Things have certainly gone far better for him than they did earlier this year. That's hit out to center field, chasing Conforto back a few strides. Tagging at second is Ahmed. He'll go over to third after the catch. Owings retired for the second out.
I think with Matz here, he's very high strung on the mound, and he gets angry at himself. Dave Island, the pitching coach, is trying to get him to control his anger on the mound when he gives up a base hit. He's going to give up base hits, and I think they're trying to. There's his last two starts right there, and I think by slowing down his pace a little bit to get him to kind of gather himself.
So here's Goldschmidt with a runner at third and 2 out, and teams have been working him inside and doing it successfully. Goldschmidt with 4 strikeouts last night, 6th golden sombrero of his career, and he is just 5 for 59 in the month of May. This is guy, one of the best players in the league, top 3 MVP balloting 3 of the last 5 years, but he is just in a total funk right now, and the Mets hope he stays in it for 2 more days.
Well, he's .289 against left-handers so far this year with the 3 home runs.
Everything inside from Matz on those first 3 pitches, 2-1. You see the month that he's having. Look at that, 1 RBI in May.
They don't get it from him, they're in trouble.
For a guy who drives in 100+ every year. Last year 120 RBIs, 36 home runs. Matz behind him 3-1. Ketel Marte is hitting 5th in the order. He's on deck. And Goldschmidt yanks the changeup foul, and it's 3-2.
Almost took out his teammate there. Ahmed at third base.
He's got fog descending into the ballpark right now after it rained all day.
You can't really tell. I mean, it's coming in like it's very eerie.
On little cat feet. A little bloop off the right side. Flores to the sidewall to make the catch. Nice play by Wilmer, going full speed to get there to retire Goldschmidt and get Matz through first inning trouble. No score at Citi Field. Jose Reyes gets a start at third base. Adrian Gonzalez sits. Wilmer Flores moves across the diamond. Otherwise, the same lineup the Mets ran out against a right-hander last night. Tonight, they send out against one of the best left-handers in the league in Patrick Corbin.
Well, Corbin is in the ranking, top ranking in the National League and Major Leagues in a lot of very important categories. You say that he's thrown a lot of sliders this year, mixed in a curveball. But they say his last start, he was a little short in his fastball, so we'll keep an eye on that for you folks.
Yeah, he just started throwing that curveball this year. Has pretty much ditched his changeup. Brandon Nimmo leads off and takes a first pitch slider for a strike, and that's always been Corbin's stock in trade, that slider.
Brandon 0 for 10 against left-handers this year. Needs to play. It's tough when you don't hit against left-handers. How are you supposed to hit left-handers if you're not playing against them? So he's been kind of battling through it here, but he's going to get his opportunity now. Plenty of them.
Well, Cespedes on the DL. Lagares out for the season. Mickey Callaway doesn't have a whole lot of choices. He could stick Evans in the outfield. He could play Flores in the outfield to give him a right-handed bat, but not doing that tonight. And the slider wipes out Nimmo for the first out. 3 pitches, and Corbin takes care of him. Corbin gets as many swings and misses on his slider as anybody in baseball.
Took a little off that one to get a little more break. Got Brandon out in front. Not a strike.
So 1 out and nobody on now as Drupal Cabrera, who has hit a bit of a skid, hitless in his last 8 at bats. Batting average of .312 puts him 10th in the National League.
Corbin's only given up 35 hits in 57 innings. That's outstanding.
That's poked, fair ball that hit the bag and comes off the sidewalk. Cabrera's going to try for 2. The throw by Owings, he may get him. Cabrera is out at second base. Indecision by the first base umpire Greg Gibson, which might have slowed Cabrera coming out of the box. Gibson was about to point foul, but the ball clearly hit the back of the bag and was fair. And then a good play by Owings playing that ball off the sidewalk.
How can you botch that call? The throw's offline. I think he might have beat it.
No challenge from the Mets.
Okay, let's see.
Ahmed with the tag.
He got him. Good call by Jordan Baker. Just ahead. Just got there.
9-6 on the putout. So Cabrera with a base hit is erased. 2 out and nobody on, and now Wilmer Flores takes a strike. Well, the Mets have had trouble hitting lefties all year. Their team batting average against lefties is .199, and Flores is the guy who you look to turn that around. He has not hit lefties yet this year, and he won't get a hit this time as Owings settles under his fly ball, and that puts an end to the bottom of the first. 6-pitch inning for Corbin. No score after 1. Worked around a double in the first inning. No score as we start the second. Grass is very green. No doubt why. It's been watered very nicely.
You know what they say, Gary?
What do they say? Tell Marte takes ball one. What do they say?
May showers bring
what?
June flowers.
See, I'm not convinced of that. April showers only brought more May showers. Marte fouls back a changeup, and it's 1-1. Marte played shortstop last night, second base tonight, went 0 for 3 last night. Former Seattle Mariner who signed a long-term deal with the Diamondbacks this spring. And he takes up and away 2-1. Devin Marrero on deck, then Gerard Dyson for the run-starved Diamondbacks. We mentioned they've lost 8 of 9. In those 9 games, they've scored a total of 17 runs. And Matt's missing with a changeup, and again falling behind 3-1. Fell behind Goldschmidt 3-1. Eventually got him to pop up. Now 3-1 to Marte. And he fouls off the fastball 3-2.
Everybody's starting to wear that face protector, the jaw protector, I guess you'd call it.
C-flap as it's known. 3-2. And it's popped up in foul ground. Marrero taking a look. Well, that'll be back in the crowd.
Boy, I don't know if you folks saw the Preakness today, but boy, it reminded me of that playoff game in the NFL. If you remember when the Randall Cunningham-led Philadelphia Eagles played in a Soldier Field, and you couldn't see the punts up in the air. The fog was so low.
Lifted out to right. Bruce looking through the fog and puts it away, 1 out. Well, it was clear enough that we saw that Justify won the Preakness, which sets up the possibility of a Triple Crown winner 3 weeks from now at Belmont. Do you think the folks at the NYRA are a little happy about that?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
And then that works. Another muddy track.
They'll be praying for rain 3 weeks from now. Justifies people. Here's Devin Marrero. Came over from the Red Sox this spring for a player to be named later. Marrero playing third base tonight, and he's off to a slow start, hitting just 192. His 15th start for the Diamondbacks this year. And Matz throws a fastball by him, 1-1. Mets made a couple of player moves today. They brought Tomas Nido back up to be the backup catcher and designated Jose Lobaton for assignment, which I thought was interesting, the rationale that we were given for that. Lobaton, they hope, will stay in the organization. If he clears waivers, he can decide to become a free agent if he wants. But in terms of Nido, Mickey Callaway wanted Nido here to learn from Devin Mesoraco. That's pulled to third past Reyes and down the line. Marrero's got an extra base hit. Chased to the corner by Nimmo. And Marrero will hold at second with a 1-out double. Second straight inning, the Diamondbacks have gotten a double with 1 out.
Believe a changeup here. Yes, sir. Stayed back. A little bit towards the end of the bat. Not enough. Great shot right there, huh?
Good ups by Reyes, just not quite enough to reach that. So a runner at second with 1 out, and Gerard Dyson coming up. Anyway, the thought was that Nido would benefit from watching how Devin Mesoraco prepares a game plan, works with the pitchers, and that, you know, Nido probably going to go right back to Vegas when Kevin Plawecki is ready, maybe 10 days from now when he comes back from the broken hand. There's Nido, and that Nido will benefit from, you know, playing once, twice a week while he's here, but more importantly, learning about game planning from Mesoraco, whom the Mets have been extremely impressed with in the brief time that he's been here.
I've been impressed. I mean, I don't understand what the thinking is there. You should have the same preparation. If you like what Mesoraco does, And you teach it in the minor leagues for everybody down to the lowest level.
I think that the part of it that can't be replicated is they don't have the information that they have at this level when you're down in AAA.
Right.
And I think they want Nito to be ready to do that when he eventually gets back to the big league.
But I do think it's still, even though you don't have the data, Garrett, it can still be drilled into the minor league players. That when you get to this level, you're going to have this, and you get them set up for it so they come in and it's seamless.
1-2 to Dyson, who was 1 for 3 last night, hitting just 187 for the year. Slow ground ball. Dyson very fast. Cabrera makes the quick toss and gets the out as Marrero goes to third, 2 away.
Well, Gary said fast. Must be fun to be able to run that way, huh? We will never experience that.
Never had that experience.
In our lifetime. Never happened.
No, we're not going to get faster now. So 2 out. Here's John Ryan Murphy, the former Yankee. The Diamondbacks are carrying 3 catchers. Alex Avila started last night. They also have the veteran Jeff Mathis. Murphy getting his 10th start tonight. He's hitting .231 and takes a changeup for a strike. Murphy was with the Twins last year, traded to the Diamondbacks last summer, but spent most of last year in the minor leagues. Back-to-back changeups from Matz, a ball and a strike. The other player move the Mets made today was in the bullpen. They sent the lefty Buddy Baumann back down to the minors and brought up Chris Flexen, who started some games for the Mets last year. That's line towards short, past Rosario, a base hit, and the Diamondbacks have the game's first run. So John Ryan Murphy got on the 3rd straight changeup thrown by Matz and drives in the run. 1-0 Arizona.
Matz, it's his 3rd pitch. That ball was a laser beam right there. Nice effort by Rosario. Just up too much. It had sink, but it's up. You got to get that ball down.
But what about the idea, Keith, of throwing 3 straight changeups to a light hitter like that?
I agree. But the pitch has become such a, there's the circle change. You saw him turn it over. It's become a breaking ball league here. It's become a trickster league. And if you don't locate it, it can get you in trouble. Fastball sets up everything.
2-1 to Corbin, who started the night with the highest batting average in the Diamondbacks lineup tonight, hitting .294. First run of the game brought to you by the Hyundai Memorial Day event. Gives you an idea how the Diamondbacks have been struggling, that their pitcher has the highest batting average in the lineup. And Matz falls behind him, 3-1. Corbin, a lifetime 169 hitter. And taking all the way, a strike, 3-2. David Peralta would be next. 3-2 coming. And a foul tip for strike 3. Matz has his first strikeout of the night, but John Ryan Murphy's 2-out RBI hit gives the Diamondbacks the early lead. 1-0 Arizona in the second.
The 3-1 pitch and a drive in the air to deep left field, down the line, gone if it stays fair. That ball is out of here, out of here. Grand slam home run. Alfonso, a grand slam in the top of the ninth, and the Mets have taken an 8-4 lead. Alfonso hit it out of sight.
Don't take out Randy Johnson and bring in Bobby Schwinard. That's the moral of that story.
Well, Fonzie crushed that one too.
Yes, he did. His second of the game. He hit one against Randy earlier in that game. That was game 1 of that division series that the Mets wound up winning in 4 on the Todd Pratt home run.
That's right. Right at Old Shea.
You know what time that game started in Arizona, that first game? 11 o'clock Eastern time. 11 o'clock. By the time Fonzie hit that home run in the 9th, it was 2 o'clock in the morning in New York.
It didn't beat our 86 game 6.
Well, but that game started at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Tell me about it.
Much like the game 5 against the Braves in that same '99 season. That started at 4 in the afternoon and ended at 10 o'clock. 15 innings. Jay Bruce hitting just 200 against lefties, no home runs. The Mets as a team coming into the night in 331 at bats against lefties had 3 home runs. That's crazy.
Jay hasn't been able to get on track. He's been a little out in front.
By the way, contrast that with the Mets against righties. 36 home runs and 1,021 at bats. So the Mets have about 3 times more at bats against righties and 12 times as many home runs. Devin Mazzaracco hitting 5th in the order on deck. 3-2 from Corbin, and Bruce bounces one foul.
Jay, they're always very fidgety at the plate.
Again, the 3-2, and he lofts one foul. Well, Corbin threw just 6 pitches in the first inning. He's already thrown 7 to Bruce in the first at bat of the second. And so it goes. Eighth pitch of the at bat, and Bruce pulls that foul. Jay's still trying to get untracked after his paternity leave. Just 1 hit in his last 16 at bats since young Maxwell Bruce was born. Again, the 3-2, and he struck him out with a slider. So Corbin has his second strikeout as he fans Bruce.
And the D-back defense brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Of course, the 3-time Gold Glover over there at first base in Goldschmidt. Jared Dyson, of course. Well, yeah, we saw that. He can go get him. Oh, nice.
He can get on his horse. Devin Mazzaracco takes that curveball for a strike. That's the new pitch for Corbin. He never threw that before this year.
It's a little off speed. I like the way Mazzaracco swings the bat. He's been a little bit under pitches. He had 2 swings last night, just missed hitting home runs. And both those at bats, really right on it. Takes a vicious cut.
Just 3 for 18 since joining the Mets, but 2 of the 3 hits have been home runs. And he fouls off the slider.
He needs at bats. He's been injured for so long. But you know, Garrett, his value behind the plate, what have we seen so far? You know, there's 2 sides of the game.
Now, the most important thing for Mazzaracco is that he appears to be healthy after 3 injury-plagued seasons. And Mickey Callaway was asked tonight if he knows yet how much he can play Mazzaracco, because clearly the way the Mets are constructed right now, they're going to want Mazzaracco to play as much as possible. And what Mickey basically said is, we'll have a day off tomorrow, He'll play 3 in a row, then we'll see, because they're still trying to figure that out. And frankly, Mesoraco needs to try and figure that out too. It's been so long since he's played regularly.
Well, the big concern, the 2 surgeries on both hips, all labrum. It's a catcher, it's squatting, but still, Gary, you've got to be careful. He's got to play.
2-2 coming. Inside, did it hit him? It did. It nicked him. And Mesoraco gets aboard, hit by the pitch. And the Mets have a 1-out base runner. Just got him on the outside of the hand. And no challenge from Torey Lovello in the Diamondbacks dugout. Or is there a challenge? I mean, they gave him an inordinate amount of time to decide, and they decided not to. Who's Hot brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And all of a sudden, Michael Conforto is red hot after his 4 for 4 last night.
It's one game. It's one to build on, that's for sure. And that's a big building block right there, a 4 for 4.
Now facing the lefty in Corbin. And fouls off the first pitch fastball. Michael, for his career in 203 plate appearances, is hitting 176 against lefties. Now, he did better last year. He had 212 and he had 6 home runs against lefties, including one against Patrick Corbin when the Mets faced him out in Arizona. It was the only run the Mets got in that start against Corbin.
Big shift.
And he rockets this one to deep right field. Back goes Owings to the track, at the wall. It's out of here! Michael Conforto, his 4th home run of the year, a 2-run shot off the lefty. And the Mets lead it 2-1.
Can't get him out.
4 for 4 last night, 2-run homer first time up tonight, and all of a sudden, Michael Conforto looking very much like himself.
Isn't it amazing? You're going to play every day now. Don't have to worry about an 0 for 4. Hanging slider. Look at a little out in front. Look at him stay back, let go with one hand, and so strong. You go, Michael. I love it. It's a nice angle right there.
Now Reyes rockets one to short, but right at Ahmed for the 2nd out.
Reyes, who has owned Corbin, is 7 for 11 against him before that at bat. He hit a bullet. So now Steven Matz suddenly staked to the lead. Will get the turn at bat. That's 1 for 11 at the plate this year. And like all the other Met pitchers who bat the opposite way they throw, he's wearing that restrictive guard on his elbow to try and prevent the kind of hyperextension that Jacob deGrom suffered.
Well, I would just think also, Garrett, it's your pitching arm, your pitching elbow. I would have all my pitchers have that protection on.
Well, Corbin's given up a couple of rockets. And now he's 2-1 on Matz with Rosario on deck. And Steven takes it down 3-1. So against a pitcher who walks very few, Corbin all of a sudden finds a rough spot here in the 2nd. He nicked Mesoraco with a pitch. Conforto hit one off the 2nd deck. Now it's 3-1 to Matz. And he takes it low, ball 4. First walk given up by Corbin, and the inning continues. Here is Rosario, who took an 0 for last night, but has been swinging the bat much better lately. And he has been, in terms of average, the Mets' best hitter against left-handed pitching this year, hitting an even .300 against lefties. And a curveball in for a strike, 0-1.
Well, I'll say one thing for Rosario. He seems very unflappable. He got off to a struggling start around the 230s, 220s, but it hasn't affected his aggressiveness at the plate.
Hits this one out to left field, and Peralta is there to grab it. That retires the side, but the Mets grab the lead in the bottom of the second. Michael Conforto, on the heels of a 4-for-4 night last night, clocks his 4th home run of the year, a 2-run shot. And the Mets lead 2-1 as we go to the 3rd at Citi Field. Field. We go to the 3rd inning. The Mets leading 2-1. Steven Matz back to the mound with the lead for the first time. Steve Gelbs is off. We check in with Justine Ward. Justine.
Hey Gary, well Dave Eiland adjusted Steven Matz's bullpen schedule. He's now taking the bullpen a little earlier. He's doing it 2 days after he starts, and Steven told me this has really helped him. He feels fresh when he starts now. Guys?
Always good to go with a little change in routine when things aren't going right.
Right. It's always good to be fresh and exciting.
David Peralta leads off in the 3rd. Rounded out his first time up.
Cool in the game.
I could think of some other Cool in the Gang lyrics that would be less appropriate.
That was actually really a fine album.
Fastball for a strike to Peralta. Nick Ahmed on deck, and then Chris Owings in the 3rd. Eerie feel in the ballpark when the fog is rolling.
I love it. Except when you're in Candlestick.
Rosario throws out Peralta one away. Well, it's perfectly appropriate to have fog on this particular day, reminding you of London.
True.
And the events of earlier today. My thought was that with as peripatetic as you've been, I mean, you've been everywhere over the last week, that you would somehow find your way to the royal wedding this morning. I was expecting when they showed George Clooney and Serena Williams and all the celebrities that somehow you would be right there with them.
A book signing at Trafalgar Square.
Exactly, or maybe right in the alcove of the cathedral. There you go. Ahmed Flats went down the line, a foul ball, 1-1.
My first trip to London was after I retired. That's when Agassi. Oh, please.
I think we should be standing. This is the national anthem.
It was the year that Agassi won his first major at Wimbledon, and McEnroe had his last run, and John got defeated by Agassi in the quarters, I believe, that year. And I was running, and I was staying out off the King's Highway in Chelsea. And I would run along the Thames all the way to the House of Parliament.
Cabrera handles the grounder and throws out Ahmed 2 out.
Cross over the bridge, run the other side of the Thames back to Chelsea, and I'd go through Battersea Park. But when I stopped by the cathedral, I walked in, and the choir, I didn't know where they were. They were singing and practicing, and that was eerie. That was like you're back in Elizabethan time. It was just, I was just so lucky to experience that. But back to the game.
The cricket match or the baseball game? 2 out and nobody on. Here's Chris Owings, who flied to center his first time up. Well, I've only been to London once, and what I loved more than anything else was eating fish and chips out of one of those newspaper cones.
You have to.
And it's got to be the newspaper. Can't be,
right,
you know, the more pristine wrapping.
I had to go to Baker Street, of course. I did make a jaunt walk through Baker Street. Had to.
See if Watson was hanging out.
I like London. A lot of people do.
Well, maybe there'll be a Major League Baseball team there one of these days. Good fastball by Matz, and it's 2-2 to Owings.
It's just a fastball right here, right down the middle. And there it is, above the belt, Garrett. All these guys dropping that back shoulder. They can't square it up.
2-2 coming. Out to center field. Conforto standing his ground. Side retired, so after getting the lead, Matt sets down the top of the Diamondbacks order. 1-2-3. 2-1 New York in the third. From the side.
Yeah.
Coming out of the lights. Top of the batting order for New York in the home third. Brandon Nimmo still looking for his first hit against a lefty. Struck out his first time up. Nimmo, Cabrera, and Flores for the Mets against Patrick Corbin, who gave up the 2-run homer to Conforto in the second. The first home run for a Met lefty hitter against a lefty pitcher this year. Nimmo now 0 for 11 against lefties after that first at bat strikeout. Marrero in on the grass at third against him, and he lays off the slider. From Patrick Corbin, who grew up in Clay, New York, just north of Syracuse. Great basketball star in high school. Guy who could do 360 jams and Hit 3-pointers from all over the floor. Probably a better basketball player than baseball player. And a huge Syracuse Orange fan. He was a big Carmelo Anthony fan growing up. In fact, the story about Corbin is that he was so much not a baseball player that when he finally went out for the team his junior year, he showed up for tryouts wearing jeans.
Really?
He didn't know that he was supposed to wear baseball pants. Up and in, and Nimmo gets on with a walk. So he hasn't been able to hit the lefty, but he waits him out for the second walk of the night for Corbin. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Now here's Cabrera, who singled off the first base bag, but was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double in the first inning. Nimmo, Corbin, a lefty that teams have been finding they can run on. He's given up 5 steals in 5 tries this year. Ricky Henderson used to say that lefties were either impossible to run on or easy.
Right.
And we came in 2 shades.
That makes perfect sense.
There goes Nimmo, and the curveball outside, and Murphy's throw is far too late, and Nimmo does indeed steal the base, his second of the year.
Well, he got a good jump, then he gets this little helicopter up here, and you can forget it.
Mets don't do a lot of base stealing. That's 17 of them in 41 games. But the scouting report proved accurate. And Nimmo swipes the bag. He's in scoring position with nobody out. A 2-0 count to Cabrera with Wilmer Flores on deck. And another curveball. It's like a new toy in the toy box for Corbin.
It's a sweeper. It's more of an off-speed pitch. It's something he's going to want to keep away from right-handers. Remember, he hit one off the bag down the right field line the first at bat, and Goldschmidt at first said, "Okay, I dare you to do it again." Look at him, way off in the hole, way off that line.
Sinker low and away, and it's 3-1.
All of a sudden, Corbin having a little issues here, finding the plate.
Walked 2 of the last 3 hitters, and now behind Cabrera, 3-1. This is a guy who doesn't walk many, only 14 walks in 57 innings starting the night. 2.2 walks per 9, 11.8 strikeouts per 9, which is in the top 3 in the league. Nobody covering. To Cabrera, and the curveball misses for ball 4. So back-to-back walks to start the 3rd inning, issued by the normally controlled Corbin, and Wilmer Flores comes up with 2 men on. And that'll bring Mike Butcher, the Diamondbacks pitching coach, out of the dugout to have a word with his ace left-hander.
And what we've seen so far in this series, Mike Butcher, this is his 3rd trip. I think he made 2 trips yesterday. You haven't seen a lot of because of the new count, only allowed 6 trips. You see less and less of the pitching coaches going out, but clearly the Diamondbacks are been having a lot of mound visits.
I think we're going to see more as the year goes along, because teams have been trying to figure out what's judicious to do early in the game, and honestly, nobody's come close to running out. So
no, you got 6.
Yeah, so I think as the year goes along, we're going to see more and more early visits like this one. 1 down, 5 to go. Corbin's season high for walks in the game is 4. He's already walked 3 in 2 innings plus tonight. So here's Wilmer, who flied out to right his first time up. Mets up 2-1 in the third and a chance to add to that. Mets have got to get Wilmer going against lefties. It's been what he was known for throughout his career, but a 162 mark with no home runs against lefties coming into the night. And for a team that has struggled in general against southpaws, they've got to get Wilmer going against the guys he used to eat for lunch. Especially now with Cespedes out. And that's low and away, and it's 2-0.
Boy. And as you can see, his velocity down. That was 89.
So he's leaking a little bit of oil here in the third inning. Behind on Flores 2-0 with Bruce on deck. And Wilmer should get a pitch to hit. Instead, he gets a 2-0 slider that he fouls off. It's amazing, Keith. I mean, think about it. First and second, nobody out. 2-0 count. Cleanup hitter on deck. In your day, would anybody have thrown a 2-0 slider?
Well, there would have been some that would have, but not when you're struggling like Corbin is. And this is when you got to find, you're searching for your rhythm. Just making it so difficult for yourself. But it's become a breaking ball league, yeah.
And that one popped up. Going to go out of play.
And it's part of that philosophy, Gary, that is completely upside down from when I played. Pitchers would come in and get behind 2-0, and they'd say, "I'm not." They threw a fastball, got the guy out. I wasn't going to give in to him. Went right after him. Today, it's I wasn't going to give in to him 2-0. I wasn't going to throw a fastball. To me, it's just upside down. We used to scream at pitchers like that from the dugout that were throwing the secondary pitches behind the count.
Well, it worked for Corbin to get back in the count. It's now 2-2, and he throws another slider and it's fouled off. So 3 straight sliders after getting to 2-0 with the fastball. Corbin, an all-star in 2013, Tommy John surgery the following year, and it's taken him a while to get back to where he is now, which is in the top echelon in the National League, but struggling so far tonight. And Flores flies one out to left, going back Peralta. He's got room in the fog and makes the catch. Nimmo tags but does not try to advance, and that's the first out.
Oh, a very strong throw in from Peralta.
Now you know why he gave up being a pitcher in the minor leagues.
Well, Wilmer got a pitch to hit. It's been very frustrating for Wilmer. That'll get you to go down. Yep, that'll get you down in that tunnel. Yep, I've been there, done that. I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Well, always better that if you're going to, you know, throw some stuff around, that you do it down there. Out of sight of our ever-present camera. Here's Jay Bruce with 2 on and 1 out. And he takes a slider off the plate. Jay struck out his first time up on a 9-pitch marathon against Corbin. Nimmo at second, Cabrera at first. And Bruce can't hold up. He went around, and it's 1-1. Bruce pops one foul out of play, 1-2. That cleanup hitters this year have hit 1 home run.
Oh boy.
1. in a quarter of a season.
Well, I tell you what, Cespedes to me is a cleanup hitter.
But regardless, there's strike 3 called, and Bruce is struck out for the second time. I mean, whether your cleanup hitter is Bruce or Flores or Cespedes or Frazier, whoever it is, the fact that the Mets, who are a home run hitting team, have gone a quarter of a season with 1 home run out of the cleanup spot is mind-boggling.
And a team that's been put together to hit home runs, a team that tied the Brewers for most home runs in the National League last year.
The only other times that the Mets have had this few home runs through a quarter of a season, 1978, when they had none in the first 40 games. That was mostly Willie Montañez and Steve Henderson. And the other year was 2010, which was almost all Jason Bay hitting in the cleanup spot. The frustrations that he had hitting in the initial configuration of Citi Field. Mesoraco was hit by a pitch and scored in front of Conforto's home run in the second. Mets got 2 straight walks to start this inning, now in danger of letting this opportunity go by the boards. And a backdoor breaking ball in for a strike to Mesoraco, 1-1.
Seems like Corbin wants to give Mesoraco nothing but little spinners up there.
Well, between his slider and his curveball this year, he's thrown breaking pitches 49% of the time. Fastball hit on the ground is short, and Ahmed gets the force at second, and Corbin extricates himself from trouble in the third after back-to-back walks. Still 2-1 New York after 3. Through May 23rd at Citi Field. Tickets are available in select seating areas on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. To purchase tickets, visit Mets.com/runs. 4th inning of the Fog at Citi Field. Mets with a 2-1 lead. Steven Matz got the side out 1-2-3 in the third after a laborious first 2 innings. They'll face Paul Goldschmidt leading off in the 4th. Goldschmidt still has not hit a fair ball in this series. Struck out 4 times last night. Fouled out to Flores his first time up tonight.
Mired in a deep slump.
And I think that is the first time we've seen him even give a hint of a smile in this series. He just looks bewildered with what is going on right now.
He's not taking pitches good. His fanny's flying out. It just seems to me he's not picking up the ball out of the hand. That was better. But they've been beating him inside.
It has certainly led to much speculation since he had a rough stretch down the end of the year last year as to whether there's any kind of physical issue with Goldschmidt. But he hits this one deep to left field, back toward the wall. Nimmo at the fence, and it's out of here. Paul Goldschmidt ties the game with a home run. That gets him out of his slump, his 5th home run of the year, and the Diamondbacks tie the game 2-2.
Well, I've said one thing about Matz is that I like the fact that he throws inside and loves to pitch inside. But he's yet to master that outside corner fastball to the right-hand hitters. And you cannot live in there and just consistently throw in and make it a pattern where good hitters are going to look in there.
That's it sharply through the hole. A base hit for Ketel Marte right after the Goldschmidt home run. So back-to-back base hits for the Diamondbacks to start the 4th.
They wanted to come in. I love this angle. That's beautiful. Sweet. Gosh, why weren't those camera angles around when I was playing? Darn. I might have gone home and watched the game.
Technology only marches forward, Keith. Didn't have Twitter when you were playing either. Thank goodness. Here's Devin Marrero, who doubled and scored in the 2nd inning. So the home run ball bites Matz again. That's 8 home runs now he's allowed in 36 innings this year.
7 of them to the right-handers. And the fog is getting a little lower over the outfield. Would you call that fog or mist?
Well, that's fog. We've had fog in Flushing before. In fact, we've had games delayed because of fog in Flushing.
That did not happen in my tenure.
Happened before you got here in a game with the Pirates. Bill Robinson was involved in that. Hit a ball that got lost in the fog. They stopped the game. Nice high-speed pitch comes from Altice 1 from Optimum.
There you see it.
That's again slowing down the pace. We talked about lefties who are tough to run on versus easy. Well, Matz has had a career-long problem shutting down the running game. He's trying to be more conscious of it this year, but he's given up 9 steals in 10 tries. Double play ball to Cabrera. The step and the throw for the 4-4-3 double play. 2 out and nobody on.
Taylor made. No attempt at a slide from Marte. Just said, let me get out of your way. Give you a clear shot. First base with a throw.
So 2 out and nobody on now. Gerard Dyson, who had a slow ground ball to Cabrera his first time up and was thrown out. And he tries to bunt, drags one up the line. It'll go foul. Always a threat to bunt, even with 2 out and nobody on, when it's not necessarily a great play with the lower part of the order coming up. But he's got so much speed, he'll do that. Try it at least once every game.
And you noticed how quick off the mound Steven was. He's an athlete. You remember, left-handers follow through towards third base. He was like a cat down that first base line. Very athletic.
And sweeping that ball away as soon as it was fouled. So it had no chance to come back.
Very quick on that ball. Nice.
Reyes stays in on the grass at third against Dyson. Slider from Matz. He started throwing his slider a little bit the last couple of starts. He had abandoned it last year when he was having elbow problems. Of course, he had that nerve transposition surgery in the offseason and did not throw his slider for his first 5 starts, but he's mixed it in a little bit lately.
Well, his elbow seems fine. That's always been an issue, Gary.
Going back to the Tommy John that he had before he ever threw a professional pitch.
It was something that always aggravated him, and now it does not seem to be an issue anymore. And when he went on the DL, it was not his elbow, it was his back.
1-2 coming. There's another slider, and it's 2-2 to Dyson. And now a full count. Goldschmidt's home run that tied the game, his first in 106 at bats. And that just missed, ball 4. And Dyson, the speedster, is on with a 2-out walk. First walk given up by Matz. Close pitch.
It missed. And I stand corrected here. Matz was not put on a deal. He was just put back.
Right.
Was it 2 starts or 1? It was 1 start, right?
He missed basically
10 days?
Yeah, 10 days between starts, so he missed 1 start. And in this case, he's been pushed back a few days, not because of any ailment, but because of all the off days the Mets had. There's John Ryan Murphy, and he takes a strike. And the other issue was the Mets wanted to split up DeGrom and Syndergaard, and so they pitched DeGrom last night. Syndergaard will go tomorrow, and Mets got slotted in between them. Murphy had a base hit to drive and a run his first time. So Goldschmidt had gone 31 games since April 15th, 106 at bats since his last home run. It's more than a month for a guy who hits 30+ a year.
Look at the field now, Gary.
Fog is lower than ever.
Oh, it's lower. This is pretty incredible.
You have to wonder at what point it's going to be difficult for the outfielders to see fly balls. And that's when you start to wonder whether they might have to think about stopping it. Half swing. Did he go? He went around. And it's 1-2 to Murphy.
What is this? May 19th. Oh, what a spring we're having.
Spring? What's that? It's only a month till summer, Keith.
It has been soggy and still Frio.
Pick off. Flores with a throw, and he's safe. Well, Dyson gets picked off, but steals the base anyway. Seventh stolen base of the season for Dyson.
Oh,
and the Mets are going to challenge the call.
And that's going to be overturned.
Certainly appears to be out.
Yep.
Unless the heel of his hand got to the base before the tag, but it didn't appear it did.
And Wilmer did everything right. He came to the ball, got rid of it quick. The throw was a little offline, but I got a feeling this is going to be overturned.
Play under review brought to you by Land Rover Above and Beyond. Gary Cedarstrom and Phil Cuzzy are the crew chiefs in Chelsea, manning the replay center. And we'll see if they have definitive enough evidence there to overturn the call. Jerry Land, the crew chief, on headset, along with Jordan Baker, the young umpire who made the call, with his back to you. This is the best look we have.
It appears like he tabbed him just before he got there.
It certainly appears from that angle as though he's out. See whether the folks in Chelsea agree or if there's too much foul.
I haven't the foggiest. And we'll give you another one. I think he got him.
Headsets come off, and they do not overturn the call. So the call stands, and the Mets lose their challenge.
How about that? Okay. Inconclusive.
Well, you would certainly say the preponderance of evidence was that he was out, but I guess not definitive enough for the guys making the decision. So that puts the tie-breaking run in scoring position. It's a 1-2 count on Murphy. The pitcher on deck. Remember, they pitched to Murphy with a runner at 3rd and 2 out in the 2nd, and he drove in a run with a base hit. And they're going to pitch to him again with first base open and the pitcher on deck. 1-2 coming, and he fouls off another slider. So all of a sudden, Matt's unveiling that slider here in the 4th inning. Yep. Steven did a nice job picking off Dyson. Flores did a good job making the throw. Dyson was just too fast. And Murphy takes up and away, 2-2. Dyson's been doing that for a long time now. Age 33, his 7th steal this year, 28 last year. There goes Dyson. He steals 3rd without a throw as ball 3 is high. So Dyson steals 2nd and 3rd, now his 8th for the year.
Oh, he deked him there on the start, kind of a running start. You never want to give a base stealer or anybody a running start.
Mets have often not covered in situations like that, and that was the case there. 3-2 to Murphy, and he hits a high fly ball out to left center field. Back in the gap goes Conforto near the wall. It's out of here. John Ryan Murphy strikes again.
Wow.
A 2-run homer, his 4th of the year, and the Diamondbacks take the lead 4-2. So the Mets did not get the call overturned. The Mets opt to pitch to Murphy with first base open for the 2nd time, and for the 2nd time Murphy burns them.
Come into the game hitting .231. And he's having himself a great start here.
Murphy, who played on the other side of town back in New York. He's driven in 3 of the 4 Arizona runs, and the Diamondbacks have a 2-run lead for Patrick Corbin, who now takes ball 1. Well, after the call was not overturned, Matz was ahead in the count 1-2 to Murphy, went full, and then Murphy got a hold of one. One and 2 to Corbin, who struck out his first time up. That's 9 home runs that Matz has allowed. Now he strikes out Corbin to end the inning, but damage done. Home runs by Goldschmidt and Murphy put a big crimp in Steven Matz's night. 4-2 Arizona. more than unhappy about how that fourth inning transpired, giving up a pair of home runs to Goldschmidt and Murphy.
Well, that's what they're trying to get him to get beyond, is the temper and to be more mature.
Well, Patrick Corbin was able to work out of big-time trouble in the third, issuing back-to-back walks and then retiring the next three hitters. And he is rewarded now with the lead as he takes the mound for the bottom of the fourth.
Well, you can see the fog.
Michael Conforto gave the Mets the lead with a two-run homer in the second. Will lead off in the home fourth.
He is yet to make an out. 4 for 4 yesterday. Home run today. Got a hanging breaking ball here in the second inning.
Good cut at that. Conforto's home run, the first by a Mets lefty hitter against a left-hand pitcher, and only the fourth for the Mets, for any Met, against a left-hand pitcher this year. Corbin now ahead of the count 0-2. And Conforto fouls one. Jose Reyes on deck. Then the pitcher's spot. Mets have the bullpen cranking with Matt Stew up third in the inning. Seth Lugo, identifiable through the fog. He had a lighthouse or something.
Wasn't there in Alexandria one of the great, one of the 8 wonders of the world, the lighthouse of Alexandria?
I'm just thinking of the Little Red Lighthouse under the Great Gray Bridge. Here's the 1-2 to Conforto, and he lays off the slider from Corbin. 2-2. Any port in a storm. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. 2-2 coming. And Conforto fouls off another fastball. And Corbin's velocity is down. He's throwing 88, 89 now. Phil Evans has a helmet on and ready to pinch hit. And Steven Matz debriefed by his pitching coach Dave Island, and frustrating night for Steven. While Conforto keeps fouling them away. Still 2-2. Eighth pitch of the at bat, and the slider misses away, and a full count to Conforto. So if you're getting down to the count 0-2, Michael has fought his way back. Three-2 coming, and he struck him out. Came inside with the fastball to get him. Fourth strikeout for Corbin.
Well, he came in twice in this at bat with 2 fastballs. Not enough, but he got him. Love that angle.
So now it's Reyes, who hit a bullet to short his first time up. Reyes has always had Corbin's number. In fact, coming into the night, he had 6 hits in his previous 7 at bats against Corbin. And he lays off a changeup, and it's 1-1. Might be the first changeup Corbin's thrown tonight. It's a pitch he's pretty much ditched in favor of his curveball. Reyes flies this one out to left center, playable for Dyson. Looking through the fog, no problem, 2 out.
Tell you what, oh, go ahead, Gary. I'm sorry, you got a little promo to read there.
Well, it's actually the Mets health report, which is very extensive. That took us a lot of time to get it in. Brought to you by your tri-state Audi dealers. Cespedes on the DL with a hip, Frazier on the DL with a hamstring, They're coming back. Darno and Lagares, on the other hand, not coming back. Plawecki on his way back. Swarzak's taking a lot more time than anybody thought. Robles has the knee, and of course, David Wright.
The oblique, Gare. I'm sorry, that oblique is 2 months.
So here's Phillip Evans batting for Steven Matz. And pops up the first pitch he sees into the middle of the infield. Goldschmidt will take charge of it. And that retires the side. So Corbin, after being given the lead, sets the Mets down 1-2-3. Try to catch a ball coming out of the fog. Embrace the possibilities. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Seth Lugo will pitch the 5th inning for New York. Seth last pitched Tuesday night, 3 scoreless innings against the Blue Jays. He'll get the top of the batting order in the 5th inning, 4-2 Arizona. David Peralta leads off. He's been up twice and grounded out both times. And he takes a fastball off the plate for ball 1. Lugo has been tremendous. He's thrown 11 consecutive scoreless innings coming into the night. And he's been phenomenally effective against left-hand hitters. The lefties are just 3 for 42 against him this season. 3 for 42. Peralta shoots one foul, 2-1. Nick Ahmed on deck, and then Chris Owings for the D-backs. So Matz threw 79 pitches in 4 innings, allowed 4 runs and 6 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 2 home runs. As his inconsistent 2018 continues. And punctuated, I guess you'd have to say, by the home run ball. 9 home runs now in 36 2/3 innings.
Yep.
Lugo behind 3-1. And Peralta hits one in the air to center. Back goes Conforto onto the warning track to get it. 1 out. So Peralta retired, and now Nick Ahmed. Ahmed doubled down the right field line in the first, grounded out in the third, 1 for 2. Have certainly created a different style of bullpen this year with Lugo and Gazelman and Sewald all going multiple innings at a time on a frequent basis.
Now you've got Chris Flexen up, another guy that can do multiple innings.
And that got me to thinking, that move today, Keith, the fact that they brought Flexen up, a guy who can, you know, has been a starter in the minors. He was a starter here last year. He can, in a perfect world, be another 2 or 3 inning at a time reliever. It makes me think that what we saw last night with Gazelman working as a 1 inning setup man for Familia might be something we see a lot more of. I mean, because you don't, that's strike 3 called as he gets Ahmed looking for the second out. I mean, you don't need 4 guys who can pitch multiple innings out of the bullpen.
No.
But if Gazelman is going to be the setup man with Ramos having struggled the way he has, then maybe Flexen slides into that role and Gazelman takes on different responsibility.
Well, certainly Gazelman has pitched well enough to be moved up the food chain in that bullpen. There's no question about that. He does seem unflappable. Unflappable.
I mean, the other piece is, as Chris Owings bats with 2 out and the curveball is in for a strike, the other piece is that the Mets are going to need another starter at some point. I mean, they've got a doubleheader coming up a week from Monday in Atlanta. The Mets don't have an off day for 2.5 weeks. And you have to figure Lugo might be that guy.
Yes. Lugo, I believe, will be the starter. And this is we're not out of this patch of weather yet. And you don't know how many makeup doubleheaders there's going to be. There's 3 on the schedule right now.
First one looming in that Memorial Day Monday. Day-nighter in Atlanta.
I will be flying on Sunday afternoon to Atlanta. You'll be in Milwaukee, you and Ron. I'll get there ahead of you and have a nice steak dinner, a glass of wine, maybe a little Caesar salad.
You got something against bratwurst? You're not going to Milwaukee? A little red sauce? 1-2 coming, and Owings hits the curveball on the ground past Reyes. A 2-out hit for Owings. Ball to Reyes' left that he couldn't quite get to.
Jose likes to play that deep third base. His whole life he's played shortstop. It's been a tough transition for Jose. Although anything that he can get to, he makes the play. But he's said he doesn't feel comfortable over there.
So here is Goldschmidt, who homered leading off the 4th inning to tie the game. His first home run in more than a month. Let's see if that gets Goldschmidt going. Or if it's just a feather in the wind. Good curveball by Lugo to start him off. 0-1. Lugo's got such a great weapon with that curve, and he's been throwing it more this year.
Oh, how cute. Little Star Wars ski cap.
You know it's Star Wars night at the ballpark tonight, right?
Yes, I do.
I mean, we've got people dressed as stormtroopers.
I know.
We've got the Mr. Met as Han Solo bobblehead. Got a big crowd. There's one of the young stormtroopers. Hope you can see through that. Wouldn't want to miss the game. The ball inside, 2-1 to Goldschmidt.
3 straight breaking balls to Paul.
There goes Owings. The throw by Mesoraco is a good one and dropped. And safe is Owings with his 2nd stolen base of the year.
Thought he beat it anyway. Good throw by Mesoraco. Good quick release. Right there. Oh, hit the runner.
Ball, leg, glove all arriving at the same time. So a runner in scoring position with 2 out, 3-1 to Goldschmidt. And a fastball fouled off, 3-2. And Mesoraco is going to spend a trip to the mound. Key moment in this game with the dangerous Goldschmidt at the plate, and wants to make sure that he and Lugo are on the same page. Patel Marte would be next. That's upcoming schedule brought to you by Bob's. Everything's better with a Bobopedic. Find out why at mybobs.com. Back on picks again tomorrow. SNY Monday, Tuesday. And Marlins are in for 3. 3-2 coming. Owens runs. It's grounded to short right at Rosario. It comes up on him. He stays with it and throws out Goldschmidt to end the inning. Scoreless inning for Lugo. We're halfway through. 4-2 Arizona. Two. We were talking about that fog out back in the 70s. It was Bill Robinson who couldn't catch the ball that Joel Youngblood hit that led to the umpire stopping the game.
Frankie Taveras of the Mets on the very top of your shortstop gear back in those days. Those are the lean years.
Yeah, 79 was definitely a lean year.
But you caught the rising stars.
Eventually, bring your kids to see our kids. The magic is back. All those slogans. Ahmed Rosario tries to hold, and he held it in time. 1-2. Rosario flying out to left his first time up. Well, the Mets had Patrick Corbin on the ropes. They had a 2-1 lead. Corbin walked the first 2 hitters in the 3rd inning. Got out of that jam. Diamondbacks got him the lead, and he's retired 6 in a row now. Rosario hits a ground ball to Ahmed, who guns him down 1 away.
Boy, the infields in today's game are so fast. Gosh, I would have loved that. Who says on the ground you fail? Look at this. Look at this quick infield. Good hustle by Rosario.
Here's Nimmo, who walked and stole a base his last time up, and he shoots 1 foul.
I'd like to see Brandon. It's just, think left center field. He's pulling off a little bit right now. We've seen him do it. He has the capability. And the defense right there shows it. They're not putting any shifts on him.
Well, we really haven't seen much of Nimmo against left-handed pitching. He hasn't gotten many opportunities since he's come to the major league.
And it's tough. He hasn't faced him. He's only, like we said, he comes into the game with only 11 at bats.
So I think the book is very much still out about what he can be against left-handed pitching.
Well, he's going to get a chance here.
One-two from Corbin. Half swing on the slider, and he stopped it. 2-2. Corbin came into the night second in the National League in strikeouts, 75 in 57 innings when the night began. On that slider, but Nimmo fouled it off. 2-2. Corbin, who grew up a Yankee fan in upstate New York. Andy Pettit was his baseball hero, as you could imagine, as a left-handed pitcher. And he strikes out Nimmo for his 5th of the night. However, Corbin did have a flushing moment. He was actually in the stands in left field at Shea Stadium for Game 7 with the Cardinals in 2006, and he had the perfect seat to see Andy Chavez's catch up against the bullpen fence and left.
Because he was there, he didn't hear your call.
Maybe later. But he saw it. He was part of that great moment. And then later that night, he saw Yadier Molina's home run sail over the fence in the same spot.
I remember that one more than the catch. That was the end of it.
Well, it wasn't quite the end of it. It was the beginning of the end of it.
Enlighten me, I've forgotten.
It ended with one big curveball from Adam Wainwright.
Oh, okay, yes. Right.
We're about swept out 1 and 2.
You mean the final nail on the coffin?
The Ducks were on the pond.
I always remember it was 3 pitches, right? First pitch fastball, Carlos took, Beltran, and then he got nothing but breaking balls after that.
Wainwright had a great one.
Oh boy, I'll say.
Good breaking ball by Corbin to strike out Cabrera. He's got himself a 1-2-3 inning. 6 strikeouts for Corbin, who's retired 9 in a row. 4-2 Arizona. Log on to Pix11.com or download the Pix11 app for mobile devices. 6th inning. Ketel Marte leads off for the Diamondbacks and takes a curveball strike from Seth Lugo.
Lugo has led most everybody off with a breaking ball first pitch.
Marte had a single to left his last time up, 1 for 2 on the night. 2nd inning of work for Lugo behind Steven Matz. Backdoor curve misses 1-1.
Interesting Lugo's appearance tonight, the first inning. Throwing a lot of more breaking balls than he normally does. Throwing more of that hook tonight.
Working for the first time in 4 days since his 3 scoreless innings Tuesday night. Another curveball. This one rolled out to Cabrera. He makes the play on Marte for the first out. Well, Lugo just keeps rolling along. With that scoreless 5th inning, he's now throwing 12 straight scoreless innings, going back to May 1st. Diamondbacks box score brought to you by ChevyOffers.com. Home runs for Paul Goldschmidt and John Ryan Murphy. Mets twice pitched to Murphy with 2 out and first base open with the pitcher on deck, and he burned them both times. A run-scoring single and a 2-run homer. Here's Marrero, who's 1 for 2. And he tries to bunt, pops it up, and Reyes comes in to snag it. Lugo wanted to take it himself, but Reyes called him off. 2 out.
Well, pitchers always know to defer to their infielders. Yep.
So 2 quick outs for Lugo in the 6th. And now Gerard Dyson, who walked in the 4th and then stole 2nd and 3rd, scored in front of the Murphy home run. Mets challenged the call on the steal of 2nd. It was very, very close. Appeared on a couple of the replays as though he was out, but not enough evidence apparently to overturn it, and it really cost the Mets. And a fastball in for a strike, and it's 0-2. And Dyson strikes out on the breaking ball. Side retired. 2nd strikeout for Lugo. Another 2 scoreless innings for number 67. 4-2 Arizona. Honda dealer. Michael Conforto, a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning, and that's been all the damage against Patrick Corbin, who's retired the last 9 Met hitters after walking a pair to start the 3rd. That's down 4-2 as they come to bat in the bottom of the 6th. Corbin at 83 pitches for the night. The line score brought to you by your Tri-State Volkswagen dealers. Wilmer Flores has flied out twice tonight, and He takes a fastball strike. Flores, Bruce, and Mesoraco 3, 4, and 5 in the order up for the Mets. And Corbin tries to backdoor the slider and missed 1-1. So we talked last night about the pitching experiment the Tampa Bay Rays are trying tonight in Anaheim against the Angels. They decided to start Sergio Romo, a career reliever, just so they can face the right-hand bats at the top of the Angels batting order, and then they'll bring in their left-handed quasi-starter. So Romo, first start of his big league career, went out in the bottom of the first inning, faced Zach Cozart, Mike Trout, and Justin Upton. Struck out the side. Grounded slowly to short. Ahmed can't make the play, and Flores is aboard. They're going to score that a base hit. I'm not so sure with Flores running. If Ahmed makes the connection there, he probably throws him out.
Ahmed has got to know. Well, he got the long hop. He just clanked it.
That's got to be an error, Keith.
Yeah, I agree.
Wilmer happy to have the base hit.
And you no need to rush it knowing your runner with Wilmer.
Very generous scoring by Jordan Spreckman, the official scorer tonight. So the Mets get the tying run to the plate with Jay Bruce. Jay's been up twice, struck out both times, swinging in the second, looking in the third. And he pulls one over the bag. That's a fair ball off the sidewall. Flores will go to third. Bruce will stop at first as Owings charges it. And the Mets have runners at the corners and nobody out.
Ball's ripped, hanging slider. Oh, under the glove of Goldschmidt, the Gold Glover. Boy, he should make that play. I bet you he's mad at himself. 9 times out of 10, he makes that play. That ball was ripped.
One of the few plays where you're better off having a right-hand throwing first baseman.
Yes.
But he couldn't make the play. So now the tying runs are on base with nobody out for Devin Mesoraco, who's been hit by a pitch and hit into a force play 0 for 1. And a first pitch curveball is down for ball 1. Mets have their bullpen cranking with Jerry Blevins up. There's nobody up in the Diamondbacks bullpen with Corbin at 88 pitches in the 6th inning. And Blevins. And Mesoraco takes the sinker away, and it's 2-0.
Okay, now don't get too over anxious here. Corbin would love to get a double play right here. And really, last night's game, the Diamondbacks defense betrayed them in that first inning. The Mets capitalized in the first inning last night on the error on the second baseman. And really, there's no error in this inning, but there are 2 plays that one should have been made and one normally gets made by the Gold Glove first baseman.
I bet you the call on Flores gets challenged by Corbin if a run scores here.
I just find that so amazing that they would allow players to challenge.
The whole committee to study those things and everything. And now that's outside, and it's 3-0 to Mesoraco. So you got Conforto standing on deck, left-hand hitter, although he has hit a home run tonight. Do you give Mesoraco a green light here?
No, take. Only time you do is Mesoraco's red hot.
And he takes it for a letter high strike, 3-1.
No, it's still 3-1 is a great pitch to hit. And you can see the fog.
Corbin behind 3-1, takes a look at Bruce, who's not going anywhere. Mets do not have any speed on the bases with Flores at third and Bruce at first. Jay has snuck a couple of steals already this year, but that's not his game. Three and 1 to Mesoraco with Conforto on deck. And Devin pops it up. Goldschmidt with plenty of room. And that's a big first out for Patrick Corbin, battling from behind.
Well, He's taking a rip, and what I've seen from Mesoraco right now, he's just getting under everything. And getting BP and hit line drives. Focus on hitting line drives and get it back to driving that, hitting that ball that 23-degree angle. That's what you want.
Conforto tonight, a 2-run homer off the facing of the second deck, and then he struck out in the fourth. They're going to play the shift against him, and now they are moving infielders around. They're looking into the dugout.
They seem confused.
Got the third baseman Marrero playing over on the right side. And a toss to first. What was that? Almost goosed that ball throwing to first base.
Coming in.
This is upstairs, ball one.
That's the one thing about a left-hander. He's always wanted to find out the left-handers had a hard time throwing a strike in. This is a tight situation here.
Keep in mind as this inning progresses, the pitcher's spot is 2 batters away. The Mets are playing with a short bench. They already used Phillip Evans, which leaves Tomas Nido as their only available right-handed bat. They've got Gonzalez and Guillorme from the left side. Grounded down toward first, a foul ball, and it's 1-1. It's a problem of having a short bench, which the Mets went to when Lagares went on the DL and Blevins, coming back from paternity leave, replaced him. Mets swapped out catchers today, bringing Nido back and designating Lobaton for assignment, but it still left them with a 4-man bench. And with a lefty in the game, that could be problematic. Diamondbacks do have action going in their bullpen now. 1-1 to Conforto, and it's inside.
Interesting. 3 straight fastballs in. Only got 1 over. Advantage Conforto.
96 pitches now for Corbin, who has not thrown more than 100 in a game this year. And Conforto lays off the slider, and now it's 3-1.
Now what are you going to do?
So Corbin pitching himself into a corner. Jorge De La Rosa is the left-hander. Jimmy Sherfy is the right-hander in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Their bullpen has been extremely good this year, best in the National League. But it's Corbin trying to get himself out of his own jam here in the 6th. 3-1 to Conforto. And he walked him to load the bases. Second, make it the 4th walk of the night for Corbin. And now Reyes will come up with the bases full.
No.
And again, this is a huge at bat here for Reyes because of the Mets' lack of a right-handed bench. They'll put Adrian Gonzalez on deck to pinch hit, but Adrian has not been getting many reps against left-handed pitching this year. So it's really on Reyes' shoulders here to get something done in what has been a lost season so far for Jose. He's 0 for 2 tonight, and now
I agree.
Torey Lovullo is coming out.
I agree. Adios.
So what do? They bring in a lefty or a righty to face Jose. And they're going to go to the right-hander. Sherfy is going to come in. So Corbin is out after 5 1/3 with a 4-2 lead. He'll exit with the bases loaded and 1 out. Called to the bullpen brought to you by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Corbin out, Sherfy in. Mets threatening. We'll be right back. right-hander Jimmy Sherfy.
Well, Sherfy only in 2 games here, only an inning and 2/3, boy, and he's coming in a tough spot.
Sherfy, 26 years old. He was in 11 games last year for the Diamondbacks. He's never allowed a run in the major leagues. Well, but he's got 3 inherited runners to deal with here. Flores at third, Bruce at second, Conforto at first, and 1 out.
They want him to move the rosin bag. Your rosin bag is showing. There you go, move it.
Right on the hitter's line of sight.
Now Sherfy is a guy with 1 2/3 innings, his 3rd game, bases loaded. I am on a fastball first pitch.
Reyes 0 for 2 tonight. And a first pitch breaking ball stays high for ball 1.
Even better. Now you're 1-0. Bases loaded. Bring it on.
Adrian Gonzalez on deck to bat to the pitcher. They've got the lefty De La Rosa still warming in the bullpen. Meanwhile, Paul Sewald and Jerry Blevins up in the Mets pen. And Reyes lifts one foul. Might be playable. Marrero over near the railing has room to make the catch. A huge second out for the Diamondbacks as Reyes fails to get a run in.
Wow.
And now it's left to Adrian Gonzalez with 2 out of the bases loaded, and it'll probably bring in the left-hander to face him.
Boy, right down the middle up. He popped it up, and here comes the manager now.
Yeah, got to make that move.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why the inning was on Reyes. Had to get the job done there. Does not. And now it's left in the hands of Gonzalez, who's going to have to bat against the veteran lefty Jorge De La Rosa. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. We'll be right back. The 37-year-old lefty Jorge De La Rosa comes on to try to get one big out.
Boy, he was a tremendous pitcher at Colorado, a 2-time 16-game winner for Colorado. His issue has always been the walks. Got the bases loaded here, 15 innings pitched. Look at the 8 walks.
And you see Adrian Gonzalez has great career numbers against De La Rosa. Of course, most of that's from a different time in Adrian's career and a different time in De La Rosa's career. Now Adrian's 35, De La Rosa's 37, and they meet in a big spot here. Bases loaded, 2 out. Mets down 4-2 in the 6th. Gonzalez pinch hitting for the pitcher. Lugo went 2 scoreless innings in relief. And De La Rosa starts him off with a changeup for a strike.
Well, with a 4-man bench, Mickey Callaway has been kind of, you haven't got enough bullets on the bench. And kind of hamstrung here.
It's really showed its face here in this 6th inning.
I mean, if you had a full bench, I always believe it's not going to happen anymore, a 6-man bench. But even a 5, you could have, we discussed it, pinch hit Gonzalez against for Reyes, and then move Flores to 3rd.
But then you'd be out of bench in the 6th
You're out of bench with 4. You know, it's just
Yep.
he's hamstrung, Mickey.
De La Rosa quickly ahead 0-2. And Gonzalez fouls back a fastball. Well, Adrian, when he's had the pinch hitting opportunities this year, has come through. He's 3 for 3 in a pinch hitting role. De La Rosa trying to protect the lead for Corbin after Reyes popped up against Sherfy. Flores and Bruce started the inning with base hits. Conforto drew a walk. And Gonzalez lifts one to left. Back goes Peralta. He's got plenty of room. Looking through the fog and stays with it to retire the side. Mets strand 3 in the 6th inning. Still 4-2 going to the 7th. News crew with breaking news, traffic, and sports, plus the latest weather to keep you in the know. Mornings from 4:30 to 9. I'm sure you'll catch the start of that, Keith, on the Pix 11 Morning News, New York's very own.
We got a day game going on, but that is a little bit too early for me.
Paul Sewald will pitch the 7th inning for New York.
Paul last pitched, got the loss in Philadelphia, gave up the 3-run home run.
It was against Nick Williams. Controversial move to leave Sewald in the game. John Ryan Murphy takes the strike as we start the 7th inning. Murphy has been front and center in the 8th spot of the batting order for Arizona today. An RBI single in the 2nd, a 2-run homer in the 4th, both coming with 2 outs. Both coming with first base open and the pitcher on deck. The Mets opted to pitch to him both times, and the Mets got burned both times. Meanwhile, Seth Lugo, 2 scoreless innings. That gives Seth 13 straight scoreless innings now, dating back to May the 1st. Sewald well rested since that outing last Sunday in Philadelphia. Alex Avila is on deck to pinch hit for the Diamondbacks. And then David Peralta in the 7th. Murphy fouls one back. We mentioned earlier this is the home run by Murphy.
Change up, I believe.
He taps the slider and they call it a foul ball. Mentioned earlier, the Diamondbacks are carrying 3 catchers, which is what enables them to put Avila, a left-hand hitter, on deck to pinch hit. You also have the veteran Jeff Mathis as their 3rd catcher. Murphy's making his 10th start, and he certainly made the most of those 10 starts. 10 RBIs in the 10 games. And he just got a piece of that slider to stay in there at 1-2. Rough 4th inning for Steven Matz. He gave up a tying home run to Goldschmidt. Looked like he might be out of the inning on a call at second base, but the Mets did not get it overturned. And then Murphy hit the 2-run homer to put Arizona in front, and they've been in front ever since. Sewald comes inside but misses. 2-2. Eighth pitch of the at bat to Murphy, and he bloops this one out to left center. Coming on is Conforto to get it. 1 out. You can see every outfielder just kind of making sure of their footing and exactly where the ball is, because this fog is obviously playing at least some role on every ball hit up in the air. On that last ball that Gonzalez hit to end the bottom of the 6th with the bases loaded, Peralta had a moment of crisis there but was able to stay with it. Otherwise this game could be very different right now. So now Avila, who caught last night and went 1 for 3. What did he have himself a battle back there behind the plate? With Zach Godley bouncing curveballs all over the place. And Sewald behind on Avila, 2-0. Avila batting for the pitcher, De La Rosa, who got the 1 big out in the 6th. Yoshihisa Hirano is up in the bullpen now for the Diamondbacks. He's been their 7th inning guy. Off the corner, and now Sewald falls behind 3-0. David Peralta on deck. And there's strike 3 and 1. The bullpen plan for the Diamondbacks has been Hirano in the 7th, Archie Bradley in the 8th, and then Brad Boxberger in the 9th. That's formula's worked very well for them early this season. The Diamondbacks have had a stellar bullpen. And Sewald comes back to run the count full to Avila. I mean, you look at Arizona's offense and you can't even believe they're in first place. But they are on the strength of their pitching, and remember they have 3 starting pitchers out. Robbie Ray is hurt, and they lost Taijuan Walker for the year with Tommy John surgery, and Shelby Miller still trying to fight his way back from Tommy John surgery. But the bullpen has been enormous for them.
Well, certainly the back end of the bullpen, the 3 guys you mentioned.
A lot of pitches for Sewald to his first 2 batters. 3-2 coming, and he fights off a fastball, and Avila stays in there. Braves got another great start from Sean Newcomb tonight and pounded the Marlins 8-1. So they'll stay in first place another day.
I like Newcomb, the left-hander. Big kid.
It's like John Lester. 3-2 coming. Struck him out. Sewald comes back from 3-0 to strike out Avila for the 2nd out.
High cheddar. Underneath it. I feel like a broken record. Or sound like one.
Well, he's got that fastball that seems to sneak up on people.
There's that changeup he's developed that he uses judiciously.
Only thrown it 9% of the time. Goes the fastball by Peralta, and it's 1-1. Peralta 0 for 3 today, 0 for 7 in the series. He came into this series about as productive a hitter as the Diamondbacks have had in the absence of A.J. Pollock. Pollock was leading the league in slugging percentage. He was off to a fantastic start, but he's down for a month or two with a broken thumb, and certainly put a further crimp in what is an already challenged Arizona offense.
Oh,
through Clotton as a Rocco in the side of the head.
Remember when we were kids growing up, those catchers that just wore their hat in the old days, and didn't they couldn't happen today. It can't happen. There's too many guys with that backswing.
Do you think catchers are also closer now than they were?
I don't know. I can't remember, Garrett. It's so long ago, but I do remember a lot of catchers. I think Yogi was one.
I think the last guy was Bob Montgomery. I think he was the last one to wear his cap under his mask. And Sewald comes upstairs to strike out Peralta. Another good inning for Sewald. 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts. Again, that sneaky fastball. Stretch time, 4-2 Arizona. Volkswagen dealers. Out of town scores brought to you by purplebricks.com. Big day for Brandon Crawford. Homer, 4 RBIs, and the Giants win just their 3rd in the last 12 games. We mentioned Sean Newcomb pitching well for the Braves today. Dodgers trying to sweep a day-night doubleheader. Rich Hill had to lead that game after 2 pitches because of a blister, and yet they haven't allowed a hit yet as they try and sweep the Nats. And the Sergio Romo start going quite well as the Rays lead the Angels. Yoshihisa Hirano is on for the Diamondbacks in the home 7th.
34 years old, in his youth, a very power closer in Japan. Has 2 splitters, a hard one and a slower one. Good command of his fastball. Not an overpowering pitcher anymore, but he's been very consistent for this ball club.
That is a great scouting report. Rosario lifts one out to right field. Back toward the corner goes Owings, and he gets there for the first out. So Rosario now 0 for 7 in this series. Yoshihisa Hirano, 11 years with the Oryx Buffaloes, where he was a terrific closer. Now as a setup man in that Arizona bullpen, off to a fine start in the big leagues. 19 2/3 innings, only 10 hits, 5 walks, 18 strikeouts. Here's Nimmo getting to face a right-hander for the first time tonight. And takes that splitter for ball 1. Patrick Corbin went 5 1/3, allowed 2 runs, 4 hits. Jimmy Sherfy and Jorge De La Rosa each got a huge out in the 6th. And Hirano misses low with the slider, with the splitter, and it's 2-0.
Well, with Nimmo's knowledge of the strike zone, you can't nibble with him. You got to go out after him.
There's Drupal Cabrera on deck. And Nimmo takes a fastball for a strike, 2-1. Two coming.
Nice eye.
And the splitter goes low, and it's 3-2.
Fish weren't biting on that one.
He does have remarkable plate discipline.
He does. He certainly does. And you need base runners right now. I don't know why they got the shift on.
3-2 coming. And Nimmo pulls one through the shift, a base hit. Got it just under Goldschmidt. Nimmo's aboard for the 2nd time tonight, and the Mets will get the tying run to bat in the 7th.
Beautiful at bat by Brandon here. Got it to 3-2. Wanted the fastball away, cut it across the inner half. Goldschmidt. And what I've seen with Goldschmidt, he's a big guy, kind of lumbers. Hasn't got great range at first base. This ball's a rocket. Terrific at bat by Brandon.
Goldschmidt, 3-time Gold Glover, might get supplanted with Eric Hosmer now in the National League.
Cody Bellinger is also a very good glove. But
and Anthony Rizzo.
But Hosmer, to me, is really the class in baseball.
Now Cabrera, who's been on base twice tonight, a single on which he was thrown out trying to stretch. That was in the 1st inning. Then he walked in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, 1 for 2. Mets have just 5 hits tonight. And the fastball misses high, and Hirano is around the strike zone. It's 2-0. Wilmer Flores waits on deck. Mets have had chances in this game. They got the first 2 men on in the 3rd, couldn't score. They loaded the bases in the 6th with 1 out, couldn't score. A.J. Ramos next man up in the Mets bullpen. 2-0 to Cabrera, and as Drupal takes the fastball for a strike, 2-1.
Boy, it was a close pitch right there.
He's got to wait with Jerry Lane.
Well, 2-0, and you're maybe looking for something middle in to tie the ball game up. That wasn't a pitch to swing at. Knee-high outside corner, borderline.
Cabrera 6 home runs on the year. 5 of the 6 as a left-hand batter. And like all the Mets, they're seeing Hirano for the first time. But the repertoire is pretty simple. Fastball splitter. Popped up into shallow center. Dyson looking through the fog, reels it in. You never know right now, the way this fog has descended, which fly ball is going to be the one that somebody doesn't see. And Dyson said, I saw it, had it all the way. So 2 out, it's left to Wilmer, who had an infield hit on a slow roller to short his last time up. Ball that could have easily been scored in error, but Wilmer will take it. Tying run at the plate in a 4-2 game. Nimmo at first with 2 out. And Flores takes a fastball for a strike. 34-year-old Yoshihisa Hirano His 22nd appearance already this year. Diamondbacks are playing their 45th game. So he's been basically in half of them. And Wilmer pops one up, shallow right. Out goes Marte, and he makes the basket catch to retire the side. Little indecision there, but Marte equal to it. And he put it right in the basket. After 7, 4-2 D-backs.
Two hands.
Ample chances, but home runs by Goldschmidt and Murphy in the 4th inning put the Diamondbacks in front, and they've stayed there. We go to the 8th. A.J. Ramos will be the 4th Met pitcher of the night.
Well, 24th appearance, and the walks have always been a problem with Ramos. 10 walks in 15 2/3. Got hit pretty hard. Toronto kind of touched him up for 3 runs. That second game of that series.
Nick Ahmed leads off in the 8th inning. He doubled back in the 1st, 1 for 3 on the night. And takes a slider for a strike. Ahmed, Owings, and Goldschmidt, 3 right-hand batters for Ramos in the 8th inning. Steven Matz went the first 4, gave up 4 runs, 6 hits. Seth Lugo 2 scoreless. Paul Sewald a 1-2-3-7. So the bullpen has kept the Mets in it, but the Mets have been unable to cash in at the other end. And now the Diamondbacks have Archie Bradley up in the bullpen. He has been their 8th inning guy and extremely effective at that.
Good slider. Oh, if you can do that all the time. There wouldn't be too many 300 hitters.
One-two coming. Goes back to it. Misses 2-2. There is the bearded one, Archie Bradley.
Yeah, they call him the Beard in Phoenix, the Phoenix area.
Popped up. Flores and Cabrera both looking for it, and it's Wilmer with the bigger glove who will make the play. 1 out. Our next Picks telecast is tomorrow when the Mets wrap up their series with the Diamondbacks. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Spectrum Picks pregame right here on Picks 11, New York's very own. Mets will have Noah Syndergaard going tomorrow in the series finale, and the Diamondbacks are going to call on Clay Buchholz to make his season debut. Buchholz, who was in the minors with Kansas City, opted out of his contract a couple of weeks ago. He was signed by the Diamondbacks. Made a couple of starts in AAA and now being called up to start tomorrow. Diamondbacks are a little short in their rotation with the injuries they've had, so they're hoping Buchholz can plug a spot. Chris Owings is 1 for 3 tonight, singled and stole a base in the 5th, and takes the slider inside from Ramos 2-0. Well, a little rain has found us again. Game was delayed at the start by rain. We've had fog all night and now some more moisture falling.
But I will say one thing. We got the radar up here, Gary, on my iPad, and it's moving quick. Let's hope it moves the heck out of here.
Can we just get the rain out of here for a couple of weeks? Would that be okay?
How about some 80-degree weather? Wouldn't that be sweet?
Might be 80 tomorrow.
That's right.
2-1 to Owings. He pushes a bunt. They'll let it roll, and that's a fair ball, a base hit for Owings. Beautifully placed, and Owings has his second hit of the night.
Well, Reyes, we mentioned, loves to play deep. Uncomfortable. Look how deep he is. Uncomfortable at third, and leaves him susceptible to this.
Little has gone right in Jose's season. A big opportunity at the plate tonight. He couldn't cash in. Here's Goldschmidt, who homered in the 4th inning to tie this game, his first in more than a month. And Ramos throws a fastball by him, 0-1.
Right by him, inside.
Goldschmidt is 1 for 3 tonight. 0 for 5 in his career against AJ. And the slider drops in for a strike, 0-2.
Here's a home run back in the 4th. Fastball in.
And that was the beginning of the end for Steven Matz. Gave up 2 home runs in that 4th inning. And his night ended there. And Ramos overpowers Goldschmidt. 3 pitches and sits him down, 2 out.
Very wisely done. Ramos, who loves his breaking ball, Garrett. 0-2. Boom. Up and in. Right by him again.
That is the 60th time Goldschmidt has struck out this year in 162 at bats. It's more than anybody else in the National League. Here's Ketel Marte, who's 1 for 3 tonight. There goes Owings. Mesoraco's throw into the runner goes into center field. And Owings will go to third. Well, Owings didn't get a great jump. Mesoraco had a real good chance to throw him out, but the throw sailed into the runner. Owings has his second steal of the year. And the throwing error by Mesoraco sends him to third. Which was a strike to Marte. Third stolen, make it the 4th stolen base of the night for the Diamondbacks. Owings has 2 in the game. That gives him 3 for the year. Ramos ahead 0-2 on Marte. He just got a piece of the changeup to stay alive.
Well, through the fog. A It's Archie Bradley.
Telling you we need a lighthouse. 0-2 coming. This is inside with the fastball. The Brewers won again tonight in Minnesota. The amazing Josh Hader struck again. 2 1/3, no runs, no hits, 6 strikeouts.
That's the left-hander.
He has been the greatest relief force in the game this year. And they beat the Twins 5-4. 1-2. Bounce foul. The other thing that's going right for the Brewers right now, they've got Eric Thames and Ryan Braun on the disabled list, but Jesus Aguilar has been playing every day at first base. He had 2 home runs last night, hit another one tonight. He's a good hitter. Doesn't play a lot, or it hasn't played a lot.
Big kid, big strong.
He hits every time we see him. 1-2 to Marte. And the curveball just missed. 2-2. So the Brewers, even though they've got significant injuries to their lineup, 10 games over 500 and sitting in first place in the NL Central. Two coming. Got him looking. Side retired. Changeup from Ramos. Retires Marte. A couple of strikeouts in the inning for AJ. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Mets down 4-2. Archie Bradley. Not only is he a great reliever, he did this in the wild card game against the Rockies and Pat Neshek last October. 2-run triple that helped the Diamondbacks to a wild card win. Guy was hitting under 100 for his big league career against a side-arming right-hander. One of the great moments last October.
Very intense. They call him the Beard. And there's his numbers thus far. Hard thrower.
Former first-round draft pick. He was a starter 2 years ago. They moved him to the bullpen last year. He was fantastic, and he's off to a great start again this year. Throwing mostly fastballs.
He's a hard thrower and a thrower, not a real command kind of guy. Just raw fastball, hard down breaking ball. Goes after hitters.
Jay Bruce leads off in the home 8th inning. Jay's 1 for 3 tonight. Pulled one over the first base bag for a base hit his last time. And he hits a first pitch into right field for a base hit. Bradley started him off with a curveball, and Bruce was looking for it. And the Mets get the tying run to the plate in the 8th inning.
This little roller over the top. Easy to track.
It's almost like he was trying to throw a get-me-over curve to get ahead. And Bruce was hearing nothing of it. So now Mesoraco who popped up with a couple of men on him his last time up in the 6th, comes up as the tying run and takes the fastball low and in for ball 1. Bradley, the 5th Arizona pitcher of the night. Patrick Corbin went 5 1/3. He's in line for the win. Jimmy Sherfy, Jorge De La Rosa, Yoshihisa Hirano have held the fort. And now Bradley gives up a leadoff hit in the 8th. And Mesoraco drives one into the fog. Deep left center. Headed toward the wall. It's out of here!
Devin Mesoraco ties the game with a 2-run homer.
Mesoraco splits the fog and ties the game. His 4th home run of the year, his 3rd in just 21 at-bats as a Met, and his biggest to date.
He's been under the ball a lot, but this one's down in his zone, and he knew it. This guy's got some strength and some power, and that's over the wall of Flushing.
So the Mets are back even. Only the 2nd home run Bradley's allowed this year. Mesoraco, who hit 25 home runs in his All-Star season in 2014. His 3rd home run in just 7 games as a Met. Familia getting ready now as Conforto fouls went off. Michael gave the Mets their start tonight with a 2-run homer, and now Mesoraco with a 2-run shot. So Bradley, who's been fairly impenetrable this year, gives it up quickly. Single to Bruce on the first pitch curveball, and then Mesoraco on the 2nd pitch launching the tying home run. Conforto, after his 2-run homer in the 2nd, is struck out and walked. And Michael takes the curveball a little high, 1-2. Crowd is foggy and wet, but very happy right now. And Michael flies one foul down the left side. That'll go out of play.
I like Mesoraco. What a nice move that was, picking it up. And what the Mets needed was a catcher.
Only has 4 hits as a Met, and 3 of the 4 have left the ballpark. He's got that kind of power. Conforto takes the fastball low and in, 97. Bradley looked like he might have slipped a little bit. 2-2. Bradley talking to himself after giving up that home run. And the curveball bounced slowly down to Goldschmidt, and that's the first out of the inning. So Bradley finally gets an out, and now Jose Reyes will come to the plate. Jose had a chance in a big spot in the 6th inning, bases loaded, 1 out, but Jimmy Sherfy came in and got him to foul out. Now Reyes faces Bradley with 1 out and nobody on in the 8th. And Jose takes a fastball out of the strike zone for ball 1. Pitcher spot is due up next. Luis Guillorme is out on deck. Guillorme and Tomas Nido are the last 2 available. And Bradley falls behind on Reyes.
Well, the scouting report on Bradley is that he's a thrower, not the best of command, and he has fallen behind here.
Only 6 walks in 23 innings. There's one on the corner, 2-1. So this Arizona bullpen, which has been so solid, shows a crack here in the 8th. And Reyes slaps one foul, 2-2. Well, before there were 2 strikes, they had the full shift on against Jose, playing him like a dead pull hitter. Now they move the shortstop over to the left side with 2 strikes on him. Tries to hold, and the pitch was outside. 3-2. It's not coming easily for Bradley right now. Reyes with 1 home run on the season, and he pops that one foul. The two former Reds exchanging notes after Mesoraco tied it. Reyes grounds one to the second baseman Marte, and that's the second out. So Jose's tough night continues. He's now 0 for 4. And Luis Guillorme will come up to pinch hit. Guillorme 3 hits and 5 at bats in his brief big league career, and hits in his first 3 at bats. Batting here with 2 out and nobody on in the bottom of the 8th. And goes after a first pitch fastball, 0-1.
This will leave only Nito on the bench.
Well, Familia's getting ready for the 9th inning for New York with Guillorme batting for Ramos. After Ramos put up a good 8th inning. Curveball drops in for a strike to Guillorme, 1-2. 25-year-old Archie Bradley giving up the tying home run and now trying to finish off this 8th inning. 1-2. And Guillorme fights it off. Archie Bradley, born in Muskogee, went to high school in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
What was that Merle Haggard song?
Okie from Muskogee.
Just an Okie from Muskogee.
1-2 coming, and the curveball hit over the bag. That's a fair ball. It'll hit off the tarp. Guillorme takes the turn. He's going to try for 2. The throw by Peralta not in time. Guillorme with a pinch hit double.
Well, Guillorme is not a home run hitter. Sprays the ball around, and that is nice hitting right there. 2-strike hitting. And the Mets are a base hit away from taking the lead here. Hits that curveball, and they're all over Bradley. They're touching him up.
First career extra base hit for Luis Guillorme. Mets have 3 hits in the inning. Mike Butcher on the mound talking with Bradley.
Little shades of Pete Rose.
So Guillorme the go-ahead run at second with 2 out. Ahmed Rosario coming up. Rosario 0 for 3 tonight, hitless in his last 10 at bats, but trying to pick up that go-ahead run from second base. There's nobody up in the Diamondbacks bullpen behind Bradley, who has been so reliable the last couple of years, but struggling tonight, and now the Mets trying to get him here in the 8th inning. Each team now with 4 runs and 8 hits tonight. Rosario's flied out twice, grounded out once. And Ahmed takes a fastball for a strike. If Rosario can keep the inning going, Brandon Nimmo would be next. Jerry's Familia getting ready to pitch the 9th inning, hoping for a save chance, but he'll be in either way. Tie game war with the lead. Bradley held on to that one too long. A ball and a strike.
And they're making him work.
Certainly not at his sharpest. About to throw his 25th pitch of the inning.
They've been on him.
And Rosario with a check swing foul, 1-2. Romo hoping for a chance. Bradley kicking his spikes at the scraper at the back of the mound with some rain coming down. He got ahead on Guillorme, but Guillorme got the opposite field double. Now it's 1-2 to Rosario, and he strikes him out with a fastball to end the inning. But the Mets get even in the bottom of the 8th. One big swing by Devin Mesoraco against Archie Bradley. Mesoraco got a fastball, took it deep. His 3rd home run in 7 games as a Met, and this game is 4-4 heading to the 9th. Has shined. In fact, 6 scoreless innings for the bullpen in this series now with 9 strikeouts. Lugo, Sewald, and Ramos so far tonight, and now Jeurys Familia, who last night picked up his 12th save of the year, doing something he had never done before, and that is face at least 3 batters and strike them all out. I was shocked when I heard that he had never come in the 9th inning and struck out the side before, but that was the first time he'd ever done it.
In a perfect clean inning too. 1, 2, 3. Go sit down.
Devin Marrero leads off in the 9th inning. Now it's going to be Daniel Descalso to pinch hit for him. So Descalso will bat for Marrero, giving them a left-handed bat in this spot. Still plenty of bench left for the Diamondbacks, whereas the Mets are down to just Tomas Nido on their bench. Descalso, who started last night at second base, takes a strike. Descalso's been one of the hottest hitters for the Diamondbacks early in the season. A single and a double last night, 2 for 4. Hitting .270 for the year. And a good slider by Familia has him welling, and it's 0-2. Descalso was the final out for Familia last night when he struck out the side. Lamb, Goldschmidt, and Descalso. Keep in mind that Jake Lamb is available in reserve for the Diamondbacks after not starting tonight against the lefty. .2 coming, and he fouls off the fastball. Rod Dyson on deck, and then John Ryan Murphy, who's been the biggest thorn in the Mets side tonight. Andrew Chafin, the lefty, is up in the bullpen. If the Diamondbacks get the lead, you could expect to see Brad Boxberger up as well. He's done a wonderful job as the Arizona closer. .2 coming, and Descalso takes a slider at his knee. 1-2. So Familia working back-to-back days. He's had a dearth of work over the last few weeks, with the Mets struggling as much as they have. The save opportunities have been few and far between. Save last night, now pitching in a tie game tonight. Scalzo drives one to deep right center field. Back in the gap goes Conforto. He's got room to make the catch. The Scalzo hit it a long way, but Conforto runs it down for the first down.
F8 on your scorecard, Gary.
That's correct, Keith. Gerard Dyson. Dyson is 0 for 2 in a walk, was involved in a key play in the 4th inning. 2 out, he was on first, he stole second. The call at second base was safe. He appeared on replay to be out, but it was not clear cut enough for the Mets to get the call overturned as Dyson fouls off the bunt attempt. The next batter, John Ryan Murphy, hit a 2-run homer that gave the Diamondbacks the lead. Had the Mets gotten the call in their favor, Murphy never would have come to bat. Now Murphy, who's driven in 3 of the 4 Arizona runs tonight, is on deck. Reyes in tight after Dyson tried to lay one down on the first pitch. And the sinker low and away. 1-1. Brad Boxberger has joined Andrew Chafin in the Diamondbacks bullpen. And Familia falls behind on Dyson 3-1. This is the last man in the world you want to put on base. Familia, who has trouble holding base runners, just cannot walk Dyson. Dyson slugs one out to center. Plenty of room for Conforto. It's another F8, Keith. 2 out.
That one was a Del Monte.
Coming up next on Picks, it's the Picks 11 News with Kaidi Tong. And on SNY, it's WB Mason post-game live. Whenever we get done here, sooner or later. There's John Ryan Murphy. RBI single in the second, 2-run homer in the 4th. Came into the night with 7 runs batted in for the season. He's added 3 to that total. Facing Familia with 2 out and nobody on. Reyes guarding the line at third in a tie game in the 9th. And Murphy takes a slider off the plate for ball 1. Well, there's Jake Lamb out on deck to pinch hit for the pitcher if Murphy can keep the inning going. Lamb, who made his return from the disabled list last night. Very dangerous hitter. Ball and a strike to Murphy.
You see the rain falling. It's all around us. It's moving quickly through, and it can't get out of here fast enough.
Murphy pulls one down to third. That's a foul ball. Reyes properly stationed right along the line. Murphy comes back with a 1-2 count. The Nationals have taken the lead on the Dodgers 4-2. That game's in the 7th. As they look for a split of that day-night doubleheader. Atlanta and Philadelphia both won their game. Familia ahead 1-2. Struck him out. Got him with a slider. Familia gets him out 1-2-3 in the top of the 9th. Now the Mets will look for the walk-off with the top of the batting order coming up. Nimmo, Cabrera, and Flores due up in the bottom of the 9th. York Mets baseball is brought to you by Toyota. The summer starts here at Toyota. Let's go places. By Raymore and Flanagan Furniture, furnishing your style. By Ford, for great deals on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, visit buyford.com. By Hackensack Meridian Health, for quick quality care you can trust, visit hackensackmeridianhealth.org/getcare. By Altice One from Optimum, and by Infinity, empower the drive. Changes for the Diamondbacks. Daniel Descalso pinch hit, stays in the game at third base, and Andrew Chafin, who pitched a 1-2-3 inning last night, comes back tonight.
1-2-3 with a strikeout, Gary. That was the 7th inning last night, and he's going to face the same 3.
Nimmo, Cabrera, and Flores at the top of the batting order. Nimmo tonight 1 for 3 and a walk, but still looking for his first hit this year against a lefty as he takes on Chafin to start the bottom of the 9th.
With a left-hander on the mound, Gary, Nimmo leading off. If Nimmo is going to bunt, he's going to try to push it on the right side of the infield. I would be more inclined. You see where Goldschmidt's back. I'd be more inclined to be in a little bit, just because that's a real threat right there. If he can put a bunt down, he's going to get on base.
Earlier in the game, they were playing a full shift on the infield against Nimmo, but in this spot, you just can't afford to, because if you shift, he's likely to try and bunt to the open side of the field. Well, now it's Mood with 2 strikes.
2 strikes. He's not going to bunt now.
Cabrera on deck. And Nimmo drives one out to right center field. Back in the gap goes Owings, and it's off the wall. Nimmo racing for second, and he's in standing with a leadoff double. Didn't miss a game-winning home run by much. Nimmo has his first hit against a lefty this year, and the Mets have the potential winning run in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, I'll tell you what, these guys are going to get a chance to play against a left-hander. Hanging slider, well done. Off the lower quarter of the fence, and Nimmo again, 3rd time on base.
Well, let's see how the Diamondbacks handle this. You got Cabrera at the plate, Flores and Bruce to follow, a lefty on the mound. You got first base open. Cabrera tonight 1 for 3 and a walk. Do you even think about a sacrifice here?
No, I mean, you've got a professional hitter up there in Cabrera, and look at Goldschmidt now, and look at the third baseman if they do bunt. I would definitely let Cabrera swing.
He's squaring, and he drops down a perfect bunt. And Descalso has no play.
Jeez.
Cabrera, recognizing that Descalso is playing deep, takes advantage with a perfect bunt, and now the winning run is at third with nobody out.
You cannot play back at third base like this. You're saying, here, I got the runner to third. Now they got to walk the bases loaded here. Wilmer's going to be intentionally passed.
Well, you would think so with Bruce, the left-hand hitter, to follow. They've got to load the bases. I mean, I know Wilmer has struggled against lefties this year, but
I mean, who's in charge of that outfit down there?
Well, you got the catcher, John Ryan Murphy, looking into the dugout to ask what they want to do with Flores. I'm not sure what Jerry Lane is whispering to Wilmer, but now they're going to have a meeting at the mound to talk about what they want to do. And it's Torey Lovello, the manager, not Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, is going out there. So the Mets primed to try and win this game. They've got 1 walk-off win this year, and the only one was a walk-off home run by Wilmer Flores. And Wilmer's coming to the plate, and the question is, will he be allowed to swing the bat, or will he be intentionally walked?
You got to load the bases here, Gary. Huh?
I agree with you.
And he's
Unless you're worried about Chafin walking in the winning run.
He's going to do it. LL. You got left-handers coming in Bruce. It doesn't matter. You're in hot water here.
Either way. And they're going to have to get a right-hand hitter out at some point. If not Bruce, then Mesoraco.
You've got to load the bases to set up a force at home plate.
Well, they're going to let Wilmer swing, apparently.
Wow.
So Wilmer is 1 for 4 tonight, had an infield hit in the 6th. The infield comes in, the outfield comes in, only as deep as they can throw. A fly ball over their heads. Game's over anyway. Nimmo at third, carrying the winning run. Nobody out. And Wilmer attacks and fouls it back. 0-1.
Don't overswing, Wilmer. Just get that sac fly.
Wilmer has been the king of the walk-off. He has 7 walk-off RBIs in his career. And Flores pulls one foul. And now it's 0-2.
Wilmer's been doing that a lot lately, hasn't he? Been pulling the ball way foul.
Jay Bruce is on deck. Devin Mesoraco, whose 2-run homer in the 8th inning tied this game, is behind him. Chafin ahead 0-2. And Wilmer lofts one to left field. That's going to get the game winner in. Peralta grabs it. Nimmo comes home, and the Mets win it. A walk-off sacrifice fly for Wilmer Flores, and the Mets rally for 2 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th to beat the Diamondbacks 5-4 and win back-to-back games for the first time in 5 weeks. Nimmo with the big double against the left-hander to set the table. Cabrera with the perfect bunt to get the winning run to third. And Wilmer does what he does so well, his 8th career walk-off RBI, and the Mets win it 5-4.
What a win for the Mets. A nice come from behind victory, the kind they got in April when they started the season. I do not know why Wilmer was not walked intentionally with Bruce in the on-deck circle.
The Mets rally against the Arizona bullpen, which has been the best in the National League. They hand the D-backs their 9th loss in their last 10 games as the Mets overcome a poor start by Steven Matz, get great work out of their bullpen for 5 innings. And the Mets with a 2-run homer by Mesoraco in the 8th. And the game-winning sac fly by Wilmer Flores in the 9th win it 5-4. Justine Ward is standing by downstairs with Wilmer Flores. Justine?
Wilmer, can you take us through your thought process?
I was just looking for a fastball, and he hung a breaking ball right there, and all we needed was a fly ball, and I got the pitch that I wanted.
Were you surprised he pitched to you?
Not at all. I mean, once I knew they were pitching to me, I was like, let's go.
The rain is coming down. This team was able to battle back against the best bullpen in baseball. What does it say about where the Mets are at right now?
It says a lot about us. You know, we're not giving up. A lot of credit to our bullpen today, and you know, Mesoraco, a 2-run homer, most needed, and let's go.
First back-to-back wins for the Mets since this 11-1 start. Where do you see the team going from here?
We're gonna keep going. You know, we're gonna keep battling, and you know, we have everything it takes to do, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Thanks, Wilmer. Appreciate it. Gary?
Big time win for the Mets tonight. 2-run homer by Mesoraco to tie it in the 8th. The walk-off sac fly by Flores in the 9th. The game summary brought to you by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. 5 scoreless innings for the Mets bullpen tonight. Familia gets the win as the Mets have taken the first 2 of the series from the Diamondbacks. Their first back-to-back win since April 11th and the 13th, back when they were off to their 11-1 start. Play of the game brought to you by Spectrum TV, the way you want it. Wilmer just got enough of it to fly it out to left field, and that was enough to win the game, bringing Nimmo home with the game-winning run. Great credit to Nimmo.
Yes.
His 2-strike double against the left-hander, his first hit against a lefty all year, that set the stage.
Well, they're getting a chance to play, and they came through. Nimmo on base 3 times.
Final score tonight, the Mets 5, the Diamondbacks 4. The Mets will go for the sweep of the 3-game series tomorrow afternoon with Noah Syndergaard on the mound against Clay Buchholz making his Arizona debut. Our coverage begins on Pix 11 tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. Coming up next on Pix, it's the Pix 11 News with Kaidi Tom. Coming up next on SNY, it's WB Mason post-game live. Thriller for the Mets tonight as they win in the fog and the rain. Now for Keith Hernandez, Justine Ward, and our entire crew, I'm Gary Cohen at Citi Field. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon for the series finale right here on Pix 11.